Here's some instrumental for you, Mary.
That's what I've always hoped for.
I used to use this as our goodbye song, a band called Intervals. But it's all instrumental, but it's very wonky too. So it's like if you're a guitar player at that level, you'll see guys playing these songs on TikTok and stuff. But other than that, I don't know that it really want to scratch you where you itch. But who knows? These guys should be on Country Thunder.
Yeah, they should.
Guardians start up against the Cincinnati Reds tonight. That's a 7:10 start. Only 2 games in that series. A 7:10 tonight and tomorrow night. And then they will head up to Toronto to play the Blue Jays over the weekend before returning home to the friendly confines 1 week from tonight. They will host the Mariners, and then the Blue Jays will come down here. And the Guardians are still killing it, though. Doing very, very well. Breathing rarefied air, boy. Orioles, Yankees. Who else is doing really, really well? Phillies.
Phillies are doing real well, yeah.
Yep. But my White Sox, holding steady, boy. They are
consistent.
Hey, if nothing else, they're the worst team in baseball. 50 losses. They are 17-50. But there it is. They were a couple of weeks ago. You might recall we had David Njoku from your Cleveland Browns in here, and he was talking about his big celebrity softball thing that he was doing out in Avon, and it was mostly Browns players, but he had kind of a rogues gallery of who's who people. Right, had some reality show people, had some YouTuber and his grandma out there, or whatever, and people were all holding their breath because Deshaun Watson was playing. And he got into a collision out there on the field, and people were really clinching over this. They were worried. He crashed into somebody out there on the field. In the first inning, Deshaun Watson playing first base, despite still recuperating from surgery, leapt up to catch a pop-up and collided with the second baseman. And flipped down onto his right shoulder.
Oh,
I can't believe they even let these guys do this kind of stuff.
If his shoulder doesn't work, how is he going to assault massage therapists?
We'll find a way.
Yeah, he's very resourceful from what I've understood about him. The crowd gasped as he was down for a few seconds. But imagine you get hurt
Playing softball.
playing with all due respect, a dumb celebrity softball game out there. But he caught the ball.
Didn't somebody do that? They Guardians player last year broke their thumb playing with their kid or something
I thought Trevor
that?
Bauer years ago chopped his pinky with a drone or something.
He
Yeah,
did
it was
that.
like a drone.
Yeah, Trevor Bauer did that.
But it happens all the time.
It happens all the time. These guys get hurt because a lot of them have clauses in their contracts where they're not allowed to participate in certain things because they're like, hey, this is a liability. We do not want you getting hurt at some charity function. We need you to be on the field.
We pay $250 million for you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Get it together.
So he is okay for all intents and purposes, I guess. But they have got mini camp going on out there now. They made a big deal. I heard Stansbury talking about the fact that Amari Cooper was not at mini camp.
Yeah, he's holding out for a new contract.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that what Aaron Rodgers is doing?
I don't think that's what
He just got there.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is just doing his own thing.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a different animal there.
Aaron Rodgers skips mini camp too there for the Jets, and that they weren't super pleased about it. But the coach was like, "Look, he had something he had to do that was very important to him."
An appearance on a podcast.
Yeah, it must have been a flat Earth convention in Trenton. And he goes, and if it's important to him, it's important to us. Maybe Shailene Woodley, his ex, is coming out with a new brand of homemade deodorants.
Ooh.
I don't, she makes her toothpaste from dirt and leaves and stuff. Maybe it's maybe it got picked up at Kroger or something. Anybody watch Kevin Spacey on Piers Morgan?
No.
Mm-mm.
Kevin Spacey is not doing well. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that he has to sell his house in Baltimore. He's been living in Baltimore for a while.
Imagine you're such a big star and then you fall so far that you have to sell your house in Baltimore.
Well, he bought it they shot House of Cards in Baltimore, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
he was
All right.
like, yeah.
I thought he was just like,
No, that's all. The only place he can afford.
yeah.
yeah.
Kevin Spacey sells his Berea, Ohio home.
I have a feeling his house is in a nice neighborhood there in
Right.
Baltimore. But he is financially in really bad shape. Now, my understanding, by the way, is that all of these lawsuits against Kevin Spacey led to nothing. Like, I don't think there was one where he was found guilty. Was he? Maybe there
I
were
just
some.
looked that up. I just Googled, was Kevin Spacey found guilty?
Okay, was he?
Says he's acquitted.
Right.
Wednesday of, this is 2023, actually.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Because I know there
He
were
was
some.
not found guilty. He is acquitted of sexually assaulting 4 men. So he was
Right.
never found guilty.
Because there were a couple of cases in the UK, then there were a couple of cases over here, and then people seem to keep coming out of the woodwork. Listen, Kevin Spacey back in the day was clearly doing something that maybe he shouldn't have been doing.
Cleared of all charges.
Cleared of all charges. Okay. Well, anyway, he can't get movie roles. That's why I find the Kevin Spacey situation so strange. That there have been other people in similar situations, and they come back, and maybe he will. I don't know. Maybe there just wasn't enough goodwill for him. I like Kevin Spacey a lot.
Like who, though? Who has been in his situation where they've been accused of sexually assaulting minors and come back from it?
Well, if they were acquitted, there are a lot of
But
people
I'm
that weren't
saying
acquitted.
Who?
Isn't this what happened to, wasn't this the Trevor Bauer situation?
Trevor Bauer and Kevin Spacey is not the same thing.
I didn't say they were. I said the
But I'm
cases
saying-
are similar.
Right, but I'm saying on a Hollywood level, there's not been someone at Kevin Spacey's level who's been accused of this that's come back. It doesn't happen.
Okay, well, who hasn't come back?
I mean, I don't know enough about.
All I'm saying is if he was acquitted last year, and he's had to cobble together, like he did like a movie in Italy a year ago or something, and they cut him out of the last movie he did and reshot it with a new actor.
Not even someone as big as Kevin Spacey, but Danny Masterson. Like
because they found him guilty of rape. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anybody who's found guilty is going to go away. Kevin Spacey was acquitted. I mean, he wasn't acquitted of murder like OJ was, but I don't know. He was on Piers Morgan. He's crying because he didn't have a house.
Weinstein?
Well, they just overturned the Weinstein thing.
R. Kelly?
Found guilty.
No, that's true.
Yeah. But, people are, I don't know why people are dunking on Kevin Spacey. You know why? Because I don't think a lot of people know he was acquitted. I think there's probably who think that Kevin Spacey's some kind of perv, and they're not really paying attention to it, so then he shows up.
Was Cosby acquitted? I know he went to jail. But did he get out?
Yeah,
on
they
some
overturned
BS? Okay, so I mean,
They
Cosby's
appealed
not,
it. Yeah, they
he's
appealed
also
it.
like 90. I don't know.
But again, but his got overturned on a technicality. The jury found him guilty of what they said he did. It just got overturned on a technicality. And, Cosby, that guy, if you have him on your celebrity death pool, you're probably in pretty good shape.
Where do you live now? Well, it's funny you asked that question because this week, where I have been living in Baltimore, is being foreclosed on. My house is being sold at auction.
Really?
So I have to go back to Baltimore and put all my things in storage.
Really?
So the answer to that question is I'm not quite sure where I'm going to live now, but I've been in Baltimore for since we started shooting House of Cards there.
So how long is that?
I moved there in 2012.
So this has been your home for 12 years?
Well, not this particular place, but this place has been my home and Evan and Lucy's home since 2016.
Why is it being foreclosed?
Because I can't pay the bills that I owe.
Are you facing bankruptcy?
Been a couple of times when I thought I was going to file, but we've managed to sort of dodge it, at least as of today.
How much money do you have?
None.
Really?
Well, I mean, you have some sense of legal bills.
Yeah.
I still owe a lot of legal bills that
You're
I have not been able to pay.
You're actually in debt.
Yes.
Do you mind me asking how much you owe?
It's considerable.
Millions?
Many millions, yes. The house itself is many millions.
What are you going to do?
Get back on the horse. Get back on the horse.
Back on the horse for Kevin Spacey.
Okay.
I don't know why I find that situation so interesting, because I think part of it is that people think that if you're rich and famous, I mean, again, you don't become unfamous, but you can get unrich real quick. And I think people are like, oh, boo-hoo, he's got plenty of money. Guy didn't have plenty of money.
This is, okay, I'm not saying that he's lying, but he's a great actor. It's hard for me sometimes.
No, but
This is what I'm saying.
no.
Sometimes
But
it's
this
hard
is
for me.
but this is all I'm saying. A jury acquitted him, right?
No. I'm not saying about that. I'm saying about having no money. I'm
Oh,
saying that these actors, this is literally what he has been paid to do for 50 years.
But he's also been doing these lawsuits for like 4 or 5 years, and
How?
if you're paying the best lawyers you can to get you out of this stuff.
I agree.
And it
I
just
get
piles up and piles up.
But every time I see an actor cry, it's hard for me to buy.
I understand.
Because I'm like,
you and a
I've
lot of
seen
people
you do this so many times to make money. How do I know that this one is real?
Yeah, but I'm not going to hold it against somebody because they're an actor by profession that they don't have any genuine emotions.
But it's their job to manipulate yours.
Right, but he's not at work. He's on Piers Morgan.
But how do you know that? How do you know
he
he's
could still
not
be
playing it
working.
up?
Yeah,
He's
Right.
not getting.
This is gonna make people more sympathetic.
He's
to
not
me.
getting paid to. Right, but okay. But he's not asking people for money.
No,
but he wants to be.
But if
able
he wants to be in the news as a sob story,
He wants to work.
and he wants to
Who
be able to
else is
work.
gonna
He
be
needs
able to
people.
I would want to work too.
If he's going to be able to work, he needs people that are going to be like, oh, we need to talk about this. We need
Yes.
to get the story out there. I'm kind of with Mary.
That's
on
why.
this one.
That's why all these there have been a handful of high-profile people who have come to his defense. There's Liam Neeson and Sharon Stone and all these other people are like, hey, he won his cases. Let's get Kevin Spacey back in Hollywood.
listen, I cry all the time, right? So when I cry on the show, it's not as big of a deal. People are going to expect me to cry. If you were to cry on the show, that would be a huge deal.
I have
That would
cried
be-
on the show.
but not as often as I do, right?
Well, nobody
So-
cries as often as you do on the show.
I know. I have a record for it. My point is that when you see actors manipulate their emotions to such a believable level,
I
for
know what you're
so
saying.
long,
I'm
it's
not
hard sometimes to buy.
understood. I'm just saying, just because someone's an actor doesn't mean that they're constantly trying to manipulate people's emotions.
But
She's not saying
of
that
all the situations when he would need to.
Yeah. She's not saying this isn't genuine. She's just saying it's hard for her to believe because we know he has the ability to go
He's
on
an
this
incredible
show
actor.
and
Well,
pull
but-
our heartstrings.
Well, then let me back up. What is the hard part to believe? That he's broke?
No, not
no.
the hard. I believe that he's broke. But what I'm saying is that there is a certain part of me that's like Kevin Spacey is a very, very gifted actor. He has cried or made himself feel like this for much less at risk.
Right, but to what end? Here, he's trying to get work
To
again.
put his name back in the media.
Yeah.
To be
Right.
like,
That's
Kevin-
why he's doing
Kevin
Piers
Spacey
Morgan.
has a big emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
But my point is that actors are trained to have big emotional breakdowns. So how do you know when it's real and when it's not?
Well, there are a lot of people who aren't trained who have big emotional breakdowns.
and those mean more.
I don't know about that. That just means you
Yes.
can't control your emotions.
Not at all.
Of course it does.
I don't believe that because if one of us were to be in this situation and Alan, if you're about to lose your house and your kids are about to be, Nora doesn't have a place to live and you can't pay for your electricity and you're getting upset and crying about it, I would take that much more seriously than someone who has a 40 or 50-year acting career crying.
Yeah, but people don't know what I'm trained in.
Are you trained in crying?
I'm not trained in this. I've been doing this for 32 years.
Then you're
They don't know what I'm
technically
trained
it
in.
by now.
They only know what I
yes.
tell them.
Okay. That's not a good argument.
No, it's a great. I know
it
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, yeah, Piers Morgan is having Kevin Spacey on because Kevin Spacey is trying to get work.
Right. And she's saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And by the
what's
way,
the best way to get work?
He had a second there where he was kind of crying and then he kind of righted himself. So that doesn't seem disingenuous to me. It's not like he was weeping the whole way through.
Because he's a good actor. If he were weeping the whole way through, he'd be overselling it.
You're saying he knows just how much to sell it.
I mean, dude, he's, I would say, one of the best actors of all time. Right?
Well, he's trying to get the word back out there.
Definitely of his generation.
Two-time Academy Award winner.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. So if there's anyone who knows, how should I play this role?
I mean, if you remember him in the movie K-Pax,
he was an alien.
You know how...
or he was in mental hospital.
He was eating bananas backwards. Listen, you could be 100% correct. I'm just saying, I'm not going to blanketly impugn actors just because they're trained in a way and then go, well, I don't know. They do that for a living.
It's harder for me to take their emotions seriously.
Huh.
As one of the most emotional people on the planet.
All right. I mean, they didn't believe Amber Heard.
Because she was terrible at
that
her
worked against her.
There.
Well, yeah, but that's what people said. They go, well, she's a terrible actress.
And you could see it from the bench.
Right,
Based on previous record, look at she's doing the same crap she did in the movie where she fake cried.
And that's assuming she was acting. And this is what I'm saying. People default immediately to, well, they're an actor. And so that's really, if you are an actor and you're in some kind of litigation, that really puts you at an unfair disadvantage. People go, oh, well,
I mean,
you're an actor.
I 100%.
They did it to Stormy Daniels. That jury still found Trump guilty on all 34 counts. Miss Daniels, you're paid to pretend to like. So I don't know.
A little different.
Well, they're all actors.
She's okay.
Porn acting is harder than regular acting because you got to pretend you're having a great time.
Stormy Daniels and Kevin Spacey are the same.
Sliding,
is that what you're saying?
Sliding doors, man. I'm saying if your blanket statement is actors are trained and therefore harder to believe if they are genuinely showing emotion, they are both actors.
If you put her in a bedroom scene, I would question her orgasms. If I were hooking up with her, I'd be like, is this real or is this what you're trained to do?
All right. Well, then it's not Kevin Spacey's fault that he's not jizzing under the table at the Piers Morgan show.
But I'm saying that's
but
how
they're
ridiculous
all actors.
Your analogy sounds.
They're all actors.
Also, that's harder to fake.
What's harder to fake?
A male orgasm.
No, that's easier to fake. Oh, I'm done.
No, if you got visual confirmation, tell.
And again, I'm not saying that he is lying. I'm just saying that when I see actors do this, it's harder for me to believe.
You're a little sus. You go,
just a little bit.
I don't know.
And I'm not saying I don't buy it. I'm not saying I don't think
you might
he's
be
out
right.
of money.
I don't know.
It just hits me the wrong way.
It did not occur to me. Oh, maybe he's acting.
That's the first thing every time I see an actor do an apology, have a very emotional moment. I'm always like, yeah, but how do I know this is real?
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking of it in the timeline, too. The apology usually comes at the very beginning of getting into trouble for something. But I also think that no matter who you are, whether you're trained or not, if you're in a white hot spotlight like something like that, anybody's going to have genuine emotions about it.
It's a white hot spotlight, but this guy's been in white hot spotlights his whole life.
Right, but not for feeling up teenagers. I mean, that's different than walking the red carpet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's one thing to talk to Billy Bush and go, what an amazing night tonight is, you know? And then being on this guy has been in court for 4 years telling the same stories over and over again. I mean, you know, I don't know. You could be right. I mean, I just wouldn't. I guess my brain doesn't go there. Oh, maybe this guy's acting.
And it doesn't even have to be fully acting. His emotions could be real, but if anyone knows how to enhance them and make the public feel bad for them, who's it going to be? Is it going to be an actor who has done that for years and years and years and is incredibly talented at it, or your regular Joe Schmo? You know?
That's how I ended up sending so much money to Alex Jones because that genuine crying, yeah.
He cries almost as much, if not more, than Mary.
He got me every single time with it. Kevin Spacey was being interviewed on camera, so he was working. Well, I mean, are people paid to do that show?
It doesn't matter if you're paid or not.
He
That's
had the
not
baby
point.
reindeer lady on. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. If he was paid, then it was work. If he
I don't
wasn't,
know.
then he wasn't working.
Well, no, you can be working work for
Oh,
exposure.
speak
He's
for
back at
yourself,
the,
homie.
He's back at the beginning.
I don't get out of bed for less than $10,000, Mary.
Well, we all knew
We
that.
None of
know.
us.
Mr. throws away Yeti tumbler. We know.
None of us are working for exposure at this point. That ain't working. That's the
If
way you do it.
If you're on
Money
the
for
brink
nothing and your chicks for free.
if you're on the brink of being blackballed for the rest of your career, you
No,
would.
don't get racist.
I'm just saying.
Are we talking about Stormy Daniels again?
Yes.
Actors are people and humans that can show the same emotions. Somebody texted.
I agree.
That's all
I
I'm
get
saying.
It. I get it.
I think more than anything, he's trying to get the word out there. I'm broke. I just want to go back to work. I just want to go back to work. I've been acquitted. Just want to go back to work. I'm going to break here. I will have those Sepultura tickets for you if you're a fan of those guys. They're doing